Yeah, you and Borf need to come up here and go hunting. Yeah. And stuff, man. Ain't nothing here, dog. Ain't nothing but blacks up here. That's all it is. Atlanta's done gone down, man. Just gone.
In sports, there is simply no excuse for stuff like this.
He's un-American and he doesn't deserve to be in our country.
All lives matter.
However, when it comes to the fan bases across the country...
So how should the leagues support and promote an anti-racism position without becoming political and alienating fans?
Spearheaded by loyalists who choose sides politically and forcibly kick out selfless players.
I'm going to continue to stand with the people that are being oppressed.
Questions should be asked.
Bro, look at this trying to pull out in front of me right here. Look at this trying to pull out in front of me right here. Hey, did you see that tree right there? Yeah. Did you see that tree right there? Roe will hang you from that tree.
For Speed Edge Sports' Mark Taylor, racism is a necessity.
I wanted to show his birth certificate.
For a man who demands the NFL bend the knee to him, it too is a necessity, even gloating to his cult-like followers of having NFL owners running scared of his hateful rhetoric. Which brings us back to Dominique, Foxworth, and Bomani Jones discussing the NFL's fan base.
Something just hit me. There's going to be some rule changes in the NFL. They're going to do something. And you may be looking at me like I'm crazy, but wait till I explain something to you. Then you're going to be like, yep, they about to fix this. Who's the best quarterback in football? Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. Who's the two highest paid players in all the league? Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts. Who are the first three quarterbacks drafted in this draft? Black dudes.
Yep, something's going down.
Oh, we got a rule change coming down the pipe.
Jones and Foxworth laugh at the reality of the situation. Foxworth would go into further detail on his reasoning.
And so you might be listening to this and thinking that Dominique is arguing that the NFL is just flat out, I hate black people racist. No, it's a different type of racism. It's because they think that you are I hate black people type of racist. They know that the stars of this entertainment property are the quarterbacks. That is who the people who are 3 degrees removed from you, who is a super fan, they don't know nobody but 4 or 5 quarterback names. And you know what they believe? The same way the NBA is probably concerned about all these international players. They know that the stars that sell consistently or that they have known to sell consistently are tall, white dudes.
Many know him from ESPN, but few understand his history in sports. Foxworth was a quality defensive back out of Maryland, drafted in the 3rd round by the Broncos, playing for 3 teams in total and retiring after 6 seasons. He was elected as an NFLPA player rep by Denver, became VP of the NFL Players Association Executive Committee, and later president of the NFLPA in 2012. When his NFL tenure came to a close, he went and got an MBA from Harvard, which led to the title of COO with the NBA Players Association. His history of sports labor was well documented, which led to a fiery debate with UFC president Dana White. The point being, when the man speaks on these issues, listen.
They need to get him to start playing quarterback so that we can get some more Josh Allens and Joe Herbert. Joe Herberts. I'm combining Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. Need to get some more of them in the league, because if we get to a situation where it's a bunch of Lamar Jacksons and Jalen Hurts the face of the league, the NFL is going to be concerned, not because they care who their labor is, it's because they think that's y'all care who the labor is.
They going to get so desperate, somebody going to try to get Mike Trout to convert.
Now, in return, the right-wing media sphere went mad over his words. Brandon Tatum, a shill for Donald Trump, called Jones and Foxworth, you guessed it, woke. If you have no idea who this is, Roland Martin will put you on.
Trust me, the white conservatives are sitting there loving it. See, if you want to know how to game, just go to Brandon's YouTube channel. His videos, they show you'll see. Give it that money. Give it that money. Yeah. Give it that money. And that's what I'm trying to explain to people. when we expose these folks for who they are, okay? I know a whole bunch of black conservatives who are third and fourth and fifth generation black Republicans. These folks are Trump grifters.
Then there was Jonathan Hutton and Chad Withrow, who worked for Clay Travis's Outkick. They called it manufactured. Bobby Burak, a writer for the outlet who rails against woke sports and tweets out erroneous right-wing talking point pictures such as these. And because I can't resist, writes crazy, nonsensical, own the left at all costs to solidify appearances on Fox News and Glenn Beck's stupidity, hated Jones and Foxworth's commentary. Burak would rail against Hill. But noted journalist, friend of the show, Jeff Pearlman, would write in his Substack this. Burak had an old podcast titled, Bobby Burak Podcast. And he was an up-and-comer. He was a writer with the big lead. Pearlman noticed there was a deleted episode. And that deleted episode, that gap, was Jamil Hill. Yes, Bobby Burak wrote to Jamil Hill, asked if she would do the show. She did, and now recognizing his career pivot, deleted it. She would share the email years back that Burak wrote to her when asked if she can tweet the link. She did. Thus, a man who wrote of the former ESPN journalist, Jamil Hill does not appeal to the average American. She caters to elites, self-proclaimed victims, and the wing of the population who demand white people continue to atone for their ancestors. He would write the following headline for Outkick. Bomani Jones and Dominique Foxworth should quit ESPN if they think NFL fans are racist. Burak uses the typical narrow-minded line of thinking. How can it be racist if the majority of white fans watch? And, hey, Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, black quarterbacks, progression. It's awful. We all know it's awful. We also know that Clay Travis made this pivot to become a pipeline of right-wing sports commentary because it is profitable. That's the only reason he did this. He voted for Obama twice. He knows where his bread is buttered. Thus, he went down in that direction. Foxworth is well aware that his opinion can be seen as an exposition of the racist culture within the NFL. However, he feels it's more a matter of fan demographics and who is buying tickets and watching games, which he feels is overwhelmingly a white male audience who follows the quarterback mainly. Now, the Roots, Noah McGee, would then have a write-up reacting to Jones and Foxworth, and here that is. Does the NFL think its fans are racist? They'll never come out and say it, but they continue to show it with their actions. Colin Kaepernick was attempting to make a comeback. No team gave him a shot because he said he would still take a knee during the anthem and still bring attention to issues important to him, such as police brutality. Here's my very last point on this. I do believe Foxworth and Jones because the actions, you can't even say speak louder than words. The actions and words of the fan base, how much they despise seeing end racism in the end zones. How much they despise Colin Kaepernick for speaking up for the marginalized and oppressed because police are allowed to do whatever they want, including killing people in this country, simply for being a different color than they. Notice the right-wing reaction to having helmet decals that say something as simple as, hey, I'm going to put this on the back of my helmet because I believe that black lives should simply matter, or racism should not be a thing, or stand up. League-approved messages. This is not going out on a limb, throwing yourself out there to be ridiculed. These were very small acts of protest. Not even protests. They were small acts. And if a league is approving of those messages, you've already heard my stance on this, but it's not necessarily ruffling the feathers. It's them allowing you to do the smallest little marginalized thing that you can to have a message. Now, where I disagree, okay, is these quarterbacks are adding value to their teams, playing the game at a very exciting level. They are the faces of the sport. The problem is, follow me here for Foxworth and Jones, and this is just my opinion, the problem is the NFL fan base demands black quarterbacks be confined to a position, and they do not view them as people. That is the difference. That is the disconnect for guys like Bobby Burack as well.